Easily over the next 5 to 10 years, the demand for copper, is going to boom. Literally every dollar I've got is straight into AIC Mines. To put that basic infrastructure in place, that's a game changer for us.
Welcome to Member Focus. Joining me today is Aaron Colleran from AIC Mines, Managing Director and Chief Executive. Aaron, thanks for your time. Firstly, you're in a growth phase at the moment, hoping to double production for your copper. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thanks Ryan. A really important phase at the moment. We've just kicked off, we've just raised the funding, we've just appointed GR Engineering to effectively double the size of the Eloise copper mine in North Queensland. We acquired that a few years ago. Shortly thereafter we acquired the ground surrounding and importantly the Jericho deposit. Jericho's only 3 kilometres south, but a brand new deposit, never be mined, where we've commenced the development of that via an underground link. And we're about to expand the processing plant at Eloise to, as I said, double production, take us from a 12,500 tonne per annum copper in concentrate producer to 20 to 25,000 tonnes.
On a personal level, you've come from Evolution Mining, also a really great growth story. Is that something you're hoping to replicate here at AIC?
Very much so. My reason for leaving Evolution was to go and do something similar. Myself, as CEO this time, stepped into AIC as effectively a shell at the time, with a strategy to grow a new mid-tier growth-oriented Australian copper company. Our first acquisition was Eloise, moved on to acquire the Jericho deposit. We continue to look at acquisitions. We've got a very strong discipline, the same strategy. Logical, value accretive acquisitions that we put in place at Evolution. Jericho's going to be there a long time. It's got a resource life equivalent of 20 years.
Staying on a personal note, I understand that you're invested, your leadership is invested quite heavily in the company. What does that signal to staff, shareholders and the market in general?
Well, I think we're quite heavily, maybe too heavily some days, but very heavily. The thing it signals is a commitment to really make this work. Every dollar I've got, the best investment in my is AIC Mines, and I do that personally. Literally every dollar I've got is straight into AIC Mines. Also, what it does, what it incentivises, is strong alignment with shareholders. We are shareholders. This is a company where the board own a lot of shares, where the management team own a lot of shares, and so you'll see, you have seen this over the past few years, very strict in how and when we issue shares, very aligned with shareholders, very much trying to get this right.
So the future for copper, obviously you're very positive. Where do you see, we hear different things, energy transition, it's so important. Where do you see copper in the next decade or so? Obviously you're positive about it, but where do you see that?
Yeah, look, I'm very bullish copper.
Yeah.
You're right. When you talked about electrification, that's the key piece here. Anything that uses electricity needs copper, and everything we're doing in the world at the moment, is increasing the amount of electricity we use, or changing the style of electricity we use, and increasing our intensity. That's great for copper. So over the next 10 years, like you say, easily over the next 5 to 10 years, the demand for copper, is going to boom. And so at AIC, what we're trying to do here is produce copper for that boom.
Queenslanders will know, the Copper String project, billions has gone into that. It's important for that whole northwest region. How important will it be for AIC? Yeah,
critically important for us. It's transformational for our price and what we can achieve at Eloise. Obviously to swap from diesel to grid power and renewable power, is a game changer for us. But a mine the size of Eloise, we can't bring that power to site ourselves. This is government infrastructure. Government has to come to the party here to put that basic infrastructure in place. That's a game changer for us. Absolutely.
Let's hope it goes well, because I think it will be for a lot of people, and a lot of AMEC members as well. So finally, we all like to kind of crystal ball and ask these kind of questions. A lot changes in the space of 5 years, but where do you see yourself and AIC over the next 5 years?
Good question. I think about it a lot. But be careful in the context as I'm currently 7 years into my 5-year plan. So let's say the next 5 to 7 years. But the plan is for AIC to be a multi-asset copper miner in Australia. The development of Jericho, the expansion of Eloise will be our first cornerstone asset, the first cornerstone for a mid-tier miner. In 5 years' time, I'd want to have another 1, if not 2 assets in that vehicle. And we're keenly exploring and reviewing opportunities.
Really appreciate you spending some time with us and sharing some personal things and also a bit more about AIC so we can learn a bit more. Aaron, thanks for your time.
Cheers.